Welcome to online class, my dear guardians and students. I am Gibon Chandra, senior English teacher, Bawany High School. Today I will take the class from English for today. Unit 3, Lesson 2, topic May Day. At first, I will read out the passage. I hope you will be attentive to the lesson and you will listen to me attentively. May Day or International Workers' Day is observed on May 1st all over the world today to commemorate the historical struggle and sacrifices of the working people to establish an 8-hour work day. It is a public holiday in almost all countries of the world. Since the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries in Europe and the US, the workers in mills and factories have been working a long shift, 14 or even more hours a day. That means, listen to me, May Day, it is an International Workers' Day. This day is observed all over the world. The day is observed on May 1st. You know that. As the day is observed on the first day of May, so it is called May Day or May 1st. This day is commemorated, this day is celebrated for commemorating the historical struggle and sacrifices of the working people. The struggle was done by the working class people. That means it was a fight, it was a struggle by the working class people, and they sacrifices their lives. Why? To establish their demand. They had a demand that, here it is written, you see that they wanted to establish an 8-hour work day. That means they wanted to establish their demand to work only 8 hours a day. They did not want a long shift. In the passage you will see that since the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th century in Europe and the US, the workers in mills and factories had been working a long shift, 14 or even more hours a day. Here you see that at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, when the Industrial Revolution starts in 18th and 19th century in Europe and USA, the workers had to work for a long time. They had to work 14 or even more hours a day. That means they had to work for a long time. It was unbearable for them to continue the work for a 14 hours or 15 hours a day. So the workers got united. They demanded that they demanded to the industrialized, to the industry owners that they could not continue their work for a long shift. That means 14 hours or even more a time, they could not continue their work. So they wanted to work 8 hours a day. So all the workers of the US and the Europe got united and they start a struggle. What was the aim of their struggle? The aim of the struggle was to establish their demand. Their demand was to work 8 hours a day. See here, on May 1st in 1886, inspired by the trade unions, half of the workers at the McCormick Harvester Machine Company in Chicago went on strike, demanding an 8-hour work day. A minute ago, I told you that the workers inspired, they were encouraged by the labor leaders. The labor leaders encouraged the workers, the laborers, to got united and to establish their rights. What was their rights? The rights, their demand. Right means the demand of the workers. The demand of the workers was only to work 8 hours in a day. Before the Industrial Revolution, they had to work for a long time. Here you will see that they had to work 14 or even more hours a day. So to continue work 14 or even more hours a day, it was difficult for the laborers, for the working class people. So they were encouraged by the labor leaders to establish their demand, to establish their rights, that they could not do their work more than 8 hours a day. And they were inspired, they were encouraged by the labor leaders. So here you see that on May 1st in 1886, they were encouraged by the trade unions. Trade union means it is the association of the workers, trade union. So the laborers or the working class people were inspired by the trade unions, and being inspired, being encouraged by the trade union, half of the workers of the McCormick Harvester Machine Company in Chicago. This is the very famous company in Chicago in America, McCormick Harvester Machine Company. Half of the workers of the company, that means about 6,000 workers of the McCormick Harvester Machine Company, went on a strike. Here, strike means to refuse to do work or to refuse to attend an office, that is strike. About 6,000 workers of the Harvester Machine Company went on a strike. They did not want to go to the working place. They went to the street and they brought out a rally. Here you see that in the pieces, you will find it. Half of the workers of the McCormick Harvester Machine Company in Chicago went on strike, demanding an 8-hour workday. About 6,000 workers of the Harvester Machine Company went to the street. Why? To demand their rights. What was their demand? The demand is to work only for 8 hours a day, not to work 14 hours or more than a day. So they were encouraged also by the labor leaders, and being encouraged by the labor leaders, they went to the street, and the street was beside the Harvester Machine Company. 2 days later, that means on May 3, a worker rally was held. The worker of the Harvester Machine Company, they brought out a rally, and the rally was assembled, or the rally gathered at the McCormick Harvester Machine Company, and about 6,000 workers had joined it. In the rally, about 6,000 workers of the Harvester Machine Company joined it, attended the rally. The rally was addressed by the labor leaders. The labor leaders, the leaders of the trade unions, spoke something to the working class people. They encouraged, they insisted the laborers, the working laborers and the working class people in many ways. they addressed something, they spoke something, the labor leaders. What did they say in their address? The rally was, you see that they urged the workers, they insisted the workers, they wanted to inspire the workers by telling that to stand together, to go on with their struggle and not to give in to their bosses. That means the labor leaders told the laborers, told the working class people to stand together. Here to stand together means to be united and to go on with their struggle. Go on with means carry on, to continue their struggle and not to give in to their bosses. And the labor leaders also told the working class people, told the strikers not to surrender. Here giving means surrender, not to give in to their bosses. Bosses means industry owners, industrialists. The labor leaders insisted the workers, told the workers, the labor leaders wanted to make the laborers or working class people to get united. And they inspired the workers in many ways. They told the workers to stand together. That means to get united, to continue their struggle and not to surrender their bosses. Just at this moment, some strike breakers started leaving the place. About 6,000 laborers or working class people attended the rally. At one point, some of the strike breakers wanted to leave the meeting place. They did not want to attend the meeting place, to attend the rally. The strikers went down the street to bring them back. When some strike breakers started to leave the place, the other strikers went to the street. Why? To bring them back. Suddenly, about 200 policemen attacked them with clubs and revolvers. When there was a jostle, there was a clash between strike breakers and the strikers. Listen to me. When the strike breakers started to leave the meeting place, the other strikers wanted to bring them back. When there was a clash, there was a jostle. At that time, about 200 policemen took the opportunity to attack them, to attack the strikers. Here you see that suddenly about 200 policemen attacked them with clubs and revolvers. About 200 policemen there were attended also in the meeting. When the situation get deteriorated, about 200 policemen attacked on the strikers, and they attacked with a clubs. Club means heavy stick, and revolvers, one kind of firearms. When the policemen attacked on the strikers, one striker was killed instantly. Immediately, one striker was killed in the rally. 5 or 6 others were seriously wounded. When the policemen attacked to them, about 5 or 6 others seriously, badly wounded, and many of them were badly injured, and a large number of workers seriously injured. So, the events of May 1st, 1886 is a reminder that workers will continue to be exploited until they stand up and speak out to gain better working conditions, better pay and better lives. Actually, these sentences are from here, the events of May 1st, 1886. Actually, this is a message This is a message for the workers of the present day. What was the message? The message is that what happened on May 1st, 1886, that means the events, the things of the May 1st in 1886, it is a reminder. Here reminder means the occurrence or the thing that recalls something, that is reminder. That means the events of May 1st, or that means what happened beside the harvester machine company in Chicago, what happened between the policemen and what happened between the strike breakers and strikers. That events are a reminder for the workers of the present day. The message tells that the workers will continue to be exploited. The present day workers, the present day working class people will be exploited. They will be oppressed by the industrialists or by the industry owners until they stand up, until they are united, until they protest. Here speak out means to protest. If the workers are not united, if they do not protest to gain better working condition, to gain better pay and to lead a better life, they will be oppressed, they will be exploited by the labor, by the industrialist or by the industry owners. Here I want to say that actually what happened on May 1st in 1886, this is a reminder for the laborers or the working class of the present day. If the working class people or if the laborers are not united, if they do not protest for their better working condition, better pay and better lives, they will be oppressed, they will be suppressed by the industrialists or by their bosses. So I want to say, you will read the passage attentively, then I will discuss about some questions. Choose the correct answer from the alternatives. Here we will find that you will find in the question there are 7 questions. For each question, mark 1 for each question. That is called also multiple choice or choose the correct answer. Listen to me. Which of the following has the closest meaning of the word exploit? Here you find the word in the passage exploit. So there are 4 options here. The word exploit. What does the word exploit mean? There are 4 options. When you answer the multiple choice, you have to read attentively the 4 options. Here you see that exploit, the first option is to treat somebody fairly for benefit, to treat somebody unfairly for benefit, to take due opportunity, to stand together. So here we will see that here exploit means to treat somebody unfairly for benefit. What does the expression industrial revolution mean? What do we mean by industrial revolution? There are 4 options. Demands of the laborers, rights of the laborers, revolution of the owners of the industries, expansion of mills and factories. Actually, industrial revolution means here expansion of mills and factories. Here expansion means to spread of mills and factories. you know that industrial revolution means to spread something. That means revolution, actually the meaning of the word revolution, movement, but industrial revolution does not mean any movement. The industrial revolution means to spread or the expansion of mills and factories. You know that industrial revolution took place in 18th and 19th century in US and in Europe. So actually industrial revolution does not mean any movement. Here industrial revolution means the spread or the expansion of mills and factories. So it will be the correct answer, expansion of mills and factories. Question C. May Day signifies what is the significance of the May Day? The rights of working class people, the importance of a day's holiday, the inspiration of hard-working people, none of them. Actually, the importance of May Day, the rights of working class people. The correct answer here, the rights of working class people. Because through the May Day, the present day workers want to establish their rights, to establish their several kinds of demands. Question D. Which of the following best describes the workers during the Industrial Revolution? Facilitate, deprived, privileged, honorary. So here will be the correct answer, deprived. Question 5. The labor leaders inspired the workers not to dash to their bosses. The labor leaders in the rally, the labor leaders encouraged the workers. That means the labor leaders told the workers in the rally, what did they told? To give something, to hit their bosses, to start protesting, surrender. Actually, not to surrender to their bosses. In the text, you will find not to give in. In the passage, you will find here that not to give in. But in the options, you will find it surrender. So the correct answer, not to surrender to their bosses. Question 5. If the workers do not stand united in realizing their demand, they may steal. That means, what is the meaning of the question? Actually, here it tells that if the workers are not united, so what will happen? This is the answer. They will be oppressed, benefited, venerated, appreciated. Actually, they will be oppressed, they will be exploited by the industrialists if they are not united. Next question. It was a struggle organized by the workers to settle for. What was the aim of their struggle? That is the question. 8 hours work day, round the clock work day, freedom to work, minimum service. Actually, you have found from the passage, actually their demand was to 8-hour work day. So the correct answer will be 8 hours work day. So I tell my dear students, if you find any difficulty, if you feel any problem to understand the passage, you will call me. I will, in need of you, I will repeat it. So I hope you will read out the passage again and again at home, and you will try to understand the meaning, hidden meaning of the passage. If you read the passage attentively, you can easily understand the meaning of the questions, and you can also close test from the passage. So I suggest you to read the passage again and again. Okay. Now, my dear students, you are now at home, so you have enough time to study. So I will give you some homework. The homework is answer the following questions. There are 5 questions here. A. Why is media observed all over the world? What were the causes? Causes means reasons. What were the reasons that led to struggle? That means why did the workers wanted to go to struggle? What does the event of May Day remind us? That means what is the message of the May Day? That we discuss as the last part of the thesis. What lesson do you get from the events? Answer the following questions. 1st May 1886. That means after reading the thesis, what have you got? What will you learn from the thesis? Next question, and that is the last question. Do you support the idea May Day is an inspiration for the workers across the world? That means, do you support the thing that the May Day, the events of May Day inspire, encourage our workers across the world? That means the events of May Day, what happens in the Harvester Machine Company in Chicago, is it an encouragement or inspiration for the workers? And you will then answer it. Give reasons for your answer. If you think that the events of May Day are inspiration for the workers, then you will give reasons. So, thank you, my dear students. I hope you will enjoy my class, and I will again you. If you find any kind of problem, you will call me. I will, in need of you, I will repeat it, and I will try my level best to make it easy for you. So, thank you again.